Right. Last time we were looking at areas to do with. We only started with culture. Of course, the major area that we were looking at last time was in connection with uh, why business, why doing international business, or why is it that it's very special. And then we had to look at uh, one of the aspect of international business. In other words, that is what is called culture, and then we are looking at it in terms of cross-cultural businesses, where culture has to be done across the border. See, this is international business. So the fact that it's international business, culture is one of the factor that affects international business itself. So we're looking at culture. So, and this culture, first we have to define. Remember, last time we only started by defining and looking at the other areas. So, definition of cultures, what we actually said that culture refers to set of ethics, values, norms, and even beliefs, and even institutions by a specific group of people. So those elements, something to do with the values, norms, ethics, and again, institutions by a set of a specific group of people. That is what is called culture. So I gave you an example that time, said that worldwide we have got different cultures. The fact that we have different cultures, this culture do affect international business. There are other culture, whether it is the Indian culture. See, the Indian culture is quite different from Malawian culture. So if someone from India comes to Malawi to do business, he has to make sure that he or she is taking the issue of culture seriously. Else, he cannot do the business. So we had to look at that last time. That especially those people who travel. If you travel to Dubai to do businesses, you want to go order Katundu in Dubai or in the United States. You see, in Dubai they have got their own culture, so you have to be mindful of the culture. In other countries, they have got a culture like United States. You know, most of the United States guys, they wake up very early. Sometimes they wake up early in the morning and they sleep late, around 9, 10. That's their culture. Their culture. For them to make money, they have to at least. And again, you see some of them, like in the United States, you find them that the most prominent time for them to shop in very big supermarkets is around night. That is their culture. They value that. To them, they take it as they value it to be very, very helpful. So culture is it's very highly complex portrait of people, because it includes everything from high those from at least to those the lower class. Whether you are on the high side of whatever to the lower side, still you have to think of the culture. Culture is taken as something which is very, very complex in nature. So when you are doing international business, you have to make sure that you are avoiding centricity. This word ethnocentricity, I think ethnocentricity, this word of ethnocentricity refers to when you think the culture that you belong is superior than others. So the moment you begin to say it's very superior than others, then you are at least in that. So you have to avoid believing that your culture is the best out of all within the society where you are. So you have to avoid that wherever you go. That's why it's better that you have to put yourself in the shoes of those guys. When you are in Rome, do as what the Romans do. This issue of thinking that the culture that you are is the most, it has brought negativity, especially the other side. If you think that your culture is the best, it brings negativity to the other side. When you happen to go to India, if you happen one day go to India, and then you discover that those guys, they are eating something, to you it is not recommended. Don't think that, or don't say something against them, because that's their culture. What you have to do is, you have either to take on board what they are doing, or politely you have to withdraw yourself. Therefore, it is the duty of the government to make sure that it is preserving culture. Like in Malawi, when a visitor comes and would like to start businesses, when he or she registers with the registrar of companies, the government will try to find out from the one registering, especially if he is a foreigner, will try as much as possible to ask some questions that that pertain to culture. Will we be able to adopt our culture? If he says yes, he said no, yes, fine. So therefore, the government will try as much as possible to safeguard the culture by allowing the other side to accept that. As a manager yourself, being managers, you have people of different culture wherever you be. You have people of different culture. So you have to be very mindful. You have to take them all, whichever culture, respect their culture. Take them all as your kids. But the moment you start talking negative to them, then it will not help at all. In other words, what you have to do is, you have to create a global mind, the mindset, global mindset culture. You need to develop that global one wherever you go. You have to make a mindset of yourself. You have to change and adopt to the culture where you will be, especially when you be ordering cartoon or anything in other countries. Another area of concern about culture, we'll talk about culture literacy. So in culture literacy, the moment you are literate, it means that you have got detailed knowledge about the culture that makes you to have a person to function effectively within it. So the moment you see that you have got all that potential, you have got that detailed knowledge about the culture, it means you are cultural literacy. Cultural literacy. Assuming you are a Yao, are you? You are a Yao, right? You have got your culture. What is your culture from you, the home that you're coming from? They are what they do is you like Manganje. One, secondly, they are what they do is they like, and again you are a Muslim, right? Yeah, you like slaughter animals. Those are your culture, right? Mode of dressing, right? You dress whatsoever, but I've never seen you dressing like that only with your friends in the evening cover. They don't show off this whatsoever. So a mode of dressing, religion is your culture as a Muslim. So you have got a Muslim culture, right? So that one is a culture. Now, then from this element of cultural literacy, with the issue of cultural literacy, then it is taking us another area where we are looking at types of culture. We have got what is called national culture, and we have got what is called subcultures, right? So national culture. Now we define what national culture. So we talk about national culture. We are looking at that one. We have got our culture. Malawi has got its own culture. That's what's called a national culture, right? You can't dispute the national culture, because out of the national culture, we have what are called subcultures. We have the subcultures. So we have got national culture from one side, and we have got other cultures from the other side. So these other cultures are what are called the subcultures. But the national culture is the one that the country belongs. Any country belongs to the national culture. In other words, if you happen to be in Malawi, if you are in Malawi, you need to at least change. If you are from another country, it means you need to have what Malawi has, what's called a national culture. National culture. But out of this national culture, we have got what are called subcultures. We have got what are called subcultures. The aim for national culture is to support and promote the concept of the culture itself by building museums, monuments to preserve their legacies. That's the major aim for this national culture. So national culture generally is there that for people to admire. There are other people they can just come straight from United Kingdom, they can come to Malawi and said, want to enjoy Malawi and want to see how Malawi is, especially culture of Malawi. They can come to the country Malawi. The moment they enjoy the culture, then it's fine. You see? So this issue of culture is in connection with the international business. Because the moment you have got that international business, you want to just be trading internationally, what has to be coming in your head or in your brain is about the culture. Because you'll be thinking, any minute from now I'll be going to Dubai, any minute from now I'll be going to this country, I'll be going to this country. Now yes, hopefully you have, because you have money, you have everything, and you have got the aim of going in there. Think of the national culture of the country. The first step the moment you reach to the country that you have been hunting for, the most important thing is what you should do first before you start showing off your true colors. Start at least you need to find out, dig more about their national culture. And out of those national cultures, we have the national cultures, of course, because national cultures, whichever cities and whatsoever, they have got national cultures. But again, apart from that national culture, we have what is called the subcultures. We have the subcultures. Now, let's define what these subcultures are all about. Subculture. Let's define the subcultures. By definition, subcultures, we are looking at them as small, as just, they are just word sub. They are cultures that has been split. Those are referred to as subcultures. It's a group of people who share a unique way of life within a large dominant culture. It's a group of people, just a very group of people, a very small group of people. They share. They have got that what they share. That's a subculture. The Lomwe, they have got their own culture. It's just a group of people sharing unique way of life. You have got that unique from your friend, different from your friend. That becomes culture. Out of the national culture, they have got small cultures. The Lomwe, they have got their culture. The Yao, they have got their culture. And whichever is what is called subcultures. If you have observed critically Malawi, we have got several people. We have got several group of people in Malawi. We have got the Tumbukas from the north up there. We have got the Tumbuka Tonga, what up there, right? Central region, we have got the Chewa, right? And other mixed group of people, right? The Chewa and the Tonga, the whatsoever. And then we have again another one. These ones, the Sena, the Lomwe, those the down, the southern dominance. So they have got their own cultures. So look at this together. You can easily tell that I think they have got different cultures. So the moment you come from, you assuming you are coming from United States, you want to do business here in Malawi, right? You want to engage yourself in business. The moment you are in Malawi, what you do is you first of all study. You have landed into the country. You study the culture of the country, and thereafter, then you can study the culture of which the area that you belong. Right? So you see that it is very, very important that these subcultures have to be looked into consideration, because we are looking at it as magnitude of subcultures that do exist, especially when we talk about the United States. In the United States, a very big state. It has got several cultures, more than 40 cultures. See, because there are a lot of people, a lot of millions of people, so they have got several states. Right. Let's look at the issue of what is called component of cultures. Let's look at the issue to do with the components of cultures. So, components of cultures. We'll look at that. So you can write down that, components of culture. What is culture composed of? That's the second issue that we will look at. We'll look at composition of culture. Composition of culture. So we have already seen that nation or states, they have got two types of culture. They have got national culture and they have got the subcultures. That's what we have agreed. Now, this culture, whether it is a national culture or it is a subculture, whichever culture we have said, then you have again, there is something to say, you have to know the components of culture. So culture is composed of the following areas. One, you are looking at aesthetics and aesthetics. Aesthetics. One, we have got the aesthetics as a composition of culture. 1, 2, we have got value, attitudes, manner, and custom. Yes, values and attitudes, or you can just mix them. That values and attitudes as number 2. Manner and customs as number 3. Social structure. Yes, manners and custom. Social structure. Religion. Personal communication. Education. Physical and material environment. Physical and material environment. Physical and material environment. Right. Let me start with defining what is. As of course I have said, the culture is composed of all those issues like aesthetics, values, attitudes, whatsoever. Let me define what is an aesthetic. What's the difference? What's the meaning of aesthetics? When you look at an aesthetic as a composition of culture, it's just the act that you think what the culture considers to be a very good taste for you. What a culture considers good taste, what the culture considers good taste. In the arts, ARTS, in the arts, good taste, good taste. In the arts, ART, in the arts, the image, the image, the arts, evoked by certain expression, and the symbol of certain color. and a symbol of certain color. The culture that considered to be good taste in the arts, the image or imagery evoked by certain expression and the symbolism of certain color. Right, let me just give you an example. There are certain colors that there are other people, they believe those colors. It's just an image, whatever you think, color to you that you think that is very, very good. That's what is called aesthetics. For example, green is a favored color in Islam. Is it true? Green is a favored color in Islam. Is it true? Green. I thought you are a Muslim. But if you look at the flag, green. What else? Another one. If you look at those are the Pakistanians, and then those are the Pakistanians and those from Saudi Arabia. Yes, Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, they have got their own colors that they take the colors to think of something. Like sometimes they can have white. The other people again, they take white as a color. Like if you look at Africans, if someone has died, you can't put on white cloth. Right? What color do you put? Black. So to Africans, black, it symbolizes international business. I can just. Oh. Okay. International business. Africans, they take black as a color that symbolizes funeral. Assigning. They take black as a color for funeral. Right? If you look at other countries, but countries like there are other countries. If someone is sick, they have got their own culture. If you go to the Indians again, they have got their color, right? They have got their color. What's the color for the Indians? If it is red, it means they have got something to think, right? That's what it's called. They feel that is very tasty. Sometimes they take something which is a red ink, like a red spot, and they put it there, right? That color to them it is symbolizing something. So when the moment you feel it like that, that is what is called that is what aesthetics. Those are the aesthetics. You think it will be very good. Another example of that, there are even other images. Images like puma. It has got its own. The moment you see, you can see this Nike, right? This is the Adidas. You know Adidas? All right. This symbol is it's an you call it's, you know, you have got those ones. Whether you have got any symbol, you can say this is Nike, this is Adidas, this is what, right? It's easy for you to identify that based on the symbols or the color. So the other people, they feel a color to them is very, very useful. That's why I'm saying, like if you look at the Indians, they have got the colors. Africans, they have got the colors. Here in Malay and Africa, when you are passing by and you discover that there are trees, they have put trees here and they have put trees somewhere. What does it symbolize? When you are walking, you are here in Africa, and you have seen branches of trees, they have been here, another branches of trees, they are somewhere. What does that symbolize? Oh, it's only Malawi, but when you go other countries, so in Zimbabwe, what do they do? Okay. All right. So if you are from Zimbabwe, you have come to Malawi. First of all, when you see those ones, you ask, what does this mean, right? Or it symbolizes, it means that there is a funeral around here. Someone has passed on. Oh, okay. Right? So you have to take that on board. You have to take that to be like yours now. Right? Then we have another area. We are looking at components of culture. Another component of culture is now we have the values and attitudes. We have values and attitudes. Let's define what is a value. If you have to look at a value, if you have to define a value, values, they are just ideas, beliefs, and customs to which people are emotionally attached. To which people they are emotionally attached. So we're looking at it as a belief, ideas, and customs to which people are emotionally attached, and that is what is called the value. In other words, these values, they include concepts such as we have got what is called to be honesty, marital faithfulness, freedom, and even responsibility. Responsibility, they do belong to what are called values. So anything to do with the value, just know it's something to do with honesty, marital faithfulness, freedom, and responsibilities. You know, values are very, very important in terms of business. If you look at the values, the moment you are honest, values is very, very important to business because they do affect people's work ethics. The moment they affect people's work ethics, you regard them as now so important. The most important issue about value is that most people they tend to take difficulty to read to at least to take it like honesty. A lot of people, for them to take honesty, it's very, very difficult. The marital faithfulness show that you are either single or you are married. A lot of people they don't take that. Freedom and even responsibility. A lot of people they don't take that. That's why I'm saying that this issue of value, it has been rejected by a lot of people in several societies. Here in Malawi, people they do value, especially young ones. They value watching TV programs than anything. So that's what is called culture, value. Let's look at attitudes. Attitudes. We have seen that value is to do with the way you say, as God is valued, you are good character. But now let's define what is an attitude. If you look at an attitude, it's more or less like value. But an attitude, it belongs to either positive or negative, evaluation, feelings, tenderness, or any tendencies that individual towards objects or concept, positive or negative evaluation, feelings. That is what is called attitude. The feelings, that's an attitude. It's culture. How you feel it. Sometimes you feel it positively or you can feel it negatively. I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling well. I'm feeling bad today. That's what it's called. That one is a culture. I'm feeling. Anything that it can be that positive or negative evaluation. That is what is called attitudes. In most cases, attitudes they do develop based on they do develop in the brain. They are the psycho part of a human being. So the psycho part they affect the brain. So whatever you think, it can either be positive, it can either be negative. That is what is called an attitude. People have got attitudes towards time. You have got an attitude towards time. And sometimes you have attitudes towards work. You can have attitudes towards work. You can have attitudes towards cultural change. Attitudes towards cultural change. That becomes still attitudes. So what we have looked at, we are looking at components of culture, and then we have looked at now that this issue of values and attitudes is again an example of what is called component of culture, apart from the one that we have seen already. Therefore, we'll look at another element of another thing on about culture, of which you can just break for a moment. We are just breaking for a moment, and then we'll proceed.